How are ya? How's your mum? G'day, mate. Shall I throw a pip on the bobby for you? Ripper. Hey, good morning, everybody. Who wants to trade Forex? I do. Me too, please. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Forex.Today. Let's do some Forex trading. Oh, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. So please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let's play the music, huh? Let's get fired up. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's my pips. See, there's my pips. So good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today. My name is Wayne McDonald. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. A lovely little ECN. We give you access to the Forex market. We do it quickly, cheaply, and without any drama, mama. Which is very, very important. We do these sessions here Monday through Thursdays at Forex.Today and every Friday at FXStreet.com. Yeah. Isn't that nice? So if you'd like to attend live and interact with the community and read our posts and trading ideas, and by the way, there is now a gold expert that is posting to Forex.Today. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? So take a look at Maddie's posts. You'll see he posts twice a day on gold. Lovely, told you, mum. Yep. You like gold? Nah, of course you like gold. So anyways, compliments of the firm. The whole price for the whole package is free. Just show your loyalty, pay it back. Click like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave comments. Okay? You know what I mean? Pay it back, dude. So, let's get into some trades, huh? You okay with that? Oh, let me close this. Okay. So, trades. The musical fruit. Let's start from a point of view. Let's do buck, the US dollar. Golden rainbows. Right on. Come on, Bubba. Why is this always slow when I guess I'm running so many different pieces of software when I do these events. I never have this issue when I'm trading, so that's good. Come on, Bubba. Would you load? What's it doing? There we go. All right, so here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to move these charts to 4 hour. And, all right. And I wanted to look at it trend point of view. Okay. Let's start at the top left there. Pound dollar. What is the trend? What direction is the market going? Down. And so therefore, How do I use the moving averages? Well, the moving averages, the 2155 tell me the direction of the market. It has nothing to do with price, just the direction of the market. And it also tells me how fast the market's moving. If price is below the 55 or below the 21 in a bearish market, then I'm bearish and aggressive. A bearish market is defined by the 21 trending below the 55. And if price is below the 21, then I'm bearish and aggressive, which means the market's falling and it's falling quickly. So the general idea is sell at the 21, sell at the 21, sell at the 21, sell at the 21. Pretty complicated stuff, I know, but you'll grasp it one day, right? There's hope for you yet. Yeah, you sell at the 21, you sell at the 21, you sell at the 21. You know, you can see I sold at the 21 on this pullback. And then, this one just happened. Okay, so you sell at the 21. So what I'm really looking at is this, trend and where we are in the trend and where we are relative to the 21, so on and so forth. Okay. What do you think about this Euro USD? Is it the same? Yeah, it seems pretty sideways to me, right? Skip it. Okay. This looks like a disaster. I got 10 things going on. Let me try to clean this up. Wayne McDonald, clean up your charts. Boom. Come on. It grabs everything except the fib. Come on, fib. Let's just do it that way. And let's see if it'll let me. I'll drag this across, but I'm so zoomed out, right? All right, whatever. Let's move in here. What's happening here on the Aussie dollar? Is the market bullish or bearish? It's bearish. Joseph's been studying Hebrew for 12 weeks? Oy vey. Wow. So, yeah, it's technically bearish, but the trend, or actually what I meant to say is the market is slowing down. It's still bearish, but the speed of the market is slowing down. Okay, so 21 is still below the 55, but price is not necessarily below the 21. Right? So the 21 is kind of dead to me. And what I think it's probably going to do is go up, tickle the 55, and then double bottom at our current low, which is around that weekly M2. Which means if we have a bullish week for the pair, it's probably not going to happen today. But if we were going to be bullish, we'd get price action like this. So here we are now. We've killed the 21. So let's say we go up to the 55. Then I'm thinking retracement, and usually it's a double bottom. So I'll play it like this. Okay. And then end the week up here. M2 to M4 is pivot point theory. Now to create that, you're going to have to get a giant, change in trend. That may not be happening. If you're really aggressive on being a bull on this, I don't see how you'd want to be that aggressive on this particular chart, but maybe you're front running the inevitable and you're doing it on smaller time frames, which is cool. Then you might already be playing this double bottom idea. and you might be doing this. Buy the dip at the weekly pivot and work your way north to the M4. And even if that did happen, you'd still have to be incredibly cautious up in this zone. As a bull, you still have to worry about the potential of massive profit taking right around here, and that makes you vulnerable to reversal because you're on the daily chart, you're going to have this, and this fibbed, right? And just eyeballing it, depending on where it flips back down to the downside, that's somewhere between a 50% and a 618, don't you think? So just, you could be, let's say on this, you could be short-term long to long-term short. So maybe up to weekly M4 if you're a bull, so, and then down. So let's say up to 71, 71 and a half, and then down to 62 and a half. 60, yeah, right? Up for a couple hundred pips, down for 1,000. I've seen stranger things. What do you think, guys? Was that last breach of 70 on the Aussie USD? I mean, we've spent 6 months tickling it, and we breached it again. Is it possible we work our way down to 60? Remember, I asked you last week to decide. Right? Remember, I asked you to get out of one bullet point, one PowerPoint slide, put some bullet points on it, and outline what you're going to do for the next 3 months. Did anybody do that? Probably not. Don't worry about it. Right? Greatness will be easy. Won't require any extra work, right? The pips will just jump into the canoe. Don't worry, you don't have to work too hard. Life's pretty easy. Forex is pretty easy. Throw down some trades, you get filthy stinking rich. No problem. Or maybe it's going to, require blood, sweat, and tears for years. So I don't think that's a burden to make one PowerPoint presentation, one slide with some bullet points on what you're going to do for the next 3 months. Doesn't seem like a big challenge, but whatever. You need to just make these ideas. You need to have your strategy. Is the Aussie dollar going down to 60 or not? If it is, then you're selling these rallies. And if you think, no, that 70 is still a bottom, but we've just tickled it and breached it by a couple hundred pips several times in the last 12 months, but eventually the next step is 70, then do you want to be buying Aussie dollar, or do you want to, because that makes you buying the Aussie, which has been weak for 3 years, and that makes you selling the US dollar, which should be strong for the next few years. Kind of puts you in a weird fundamental backwardation mentally. So if you want to buy Aussie, would you be better on Aussie yen? Would you be better on Aussie Swissy? Like, what's your alpha? What thought process have you put into your grand design? Right? Most likely you may not have if you're just throwing down trades. I'm trying to point out that if you're not doing these strategy things, you're still a retail trader. You're just throwing trades down and hoping for success. And it's silly when you think about it. Okay? Are you going to create a strategy? I hope so, is what I'm saying. I want you to create a strategy because I want you to be great. I want you to succeed. I want you to be confident in your trading. Okay? So anyways, a bear might look for this and hope. But again, the best, I think, scenario right now is that. Okay? Yeah, James talking about China introducing volatility and stuff. Yeah, there's always something. There's always something, man. Again, if you spend at least 10 years sitting in front of your charts for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day, pretty soon you see everything and it doesn't bother you. You've seen it all before. Right? There's always something. But that's good for us, right? Let's see. Sweet. Look at that. I just made 90 pips so far talking to you. Love it. Is that nice? Just as we've been talking, I've made 90 pips. Nice. All right. So moving forward here. What's happening with yen yen? Yen yen. Yen yen. Trading yen yen. M2. If that maintains, then the target's going to be M4. Okay. So you need to be cautious on this in the USD yen because first of all, I think USD is going to be strong. Yen has been strong since the beginning of the month, which is expected or was expected, but now phase 2 is about to occur. And it is something we discussed like probably last summer. So again, none of this is, unexpected. That January, very often you start with Japanese yen strong. Right? Which means this would come down. More importantly, other currencies that you think would be weak would come down, like Aussie yen. How about Kiwi yen? How about CAD yen? All of those should be straight down. Okay? Which means Japanese yen up. Okay? So let's just kind of generalize it. Let's say January, yen is strong. Okay? Then in February, yen, oops, I mislabeled this, right? This should be Feb down here. Sorry, Feb. This is still yen. Anyways, yeah, Japanese yen should be weak. And then this might go up. And then March, right? And again, we talked about this last summer, so it's a repeat. In March, the Japanese yen should get strong again, and then this currency pair would come down again. But more importantly, commodity currencies, unless we have a commodity rally. Okay? So it's like I'm already months ahead of time preparing for, the natural ebb and flow of money. It's only money, right? And so I'm wondering if this drop that we've had so far, so here's December and January, and now we're getting potentially a 2155 kiss, which very often leads to a cross, is it done? Or are we just going to have a big flip like this, big shake and bake, M2, M4, end of the world, and there we go. Okay, probably not. So, yeah, does this mean US dollar strength? No, not necessarily. What it probably means is that the next 5 weeks we'll have maybe some Japanese yen weakness, certainly versus the dollar, but maybe versus others, maybe. So if we get up here, we're challenging this area, right? Which in of itself doesn't mean the market's turned bullish yet. But what if next week we did something like M2 to M4 again, and we get up here? Would that technically be important? Well, most likely it would be. First of all, you would get a 2155 cross. And guess what happens in here? This retracement that maybe is next week. Guess what happens? These moving averages are here now. They've rolled over, and you're buying the retracement back to the moving averages. Isn't that cool? So it's a slingshot. Okay. Okay. So you're predicting the future, but then I think only up for 5 weeks. And where would we be? 122, 123? And then strength again. Weird, huh? I hope you appreciate talking about it, 10, 12, 14 weeks before it happens. But again, I think there's a lot of people here that are not planning. They don't write it down and they don't think about it. I think there's a lot of people here, and if it's you, you need to do something about it. I'm not calling you out. I'm not calling names. I'm just saying, look, if you're sitting down every day without a plan, all of a sudden you're like, wow, the yen is so strong. Yeah, well, the yen was strong for 6 weeks, right? And then all of a sudden, and then yen is weak. Wow, why is it so weak? And then you're scrambling through the news. What made it so weak? Is it Iran? Yeah, is it China? Is it the IMF? I wonder what it is. And we're scrambling for, reasons. Right? Oh, wow. Bloomberg says it was Davos, Switzerland coming up that brought this, blah, 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 blah. Right? So anyways, I'm trying to motivate you or scare you, whatever works. Sometimes it's a carrot, sometimes it's a stick, into sitting down and writing a plan. You had a wonderful opportunity over the year-end holidays to sit down with, a 100-year-old bottle of port wine and a fabulous 25-year-old cigar and ponder what's going to happen in 2016. You know what I mean? What if you were a hedge fund manager and you had, $100 million in assets under management? What would you tell your clients? Right? Wouldn't the year end be a good time to send them a letter and say, hey, 2015 was fantastic. I'm sorry we only got 40% return on investment, but it was a tough year, tough gig. At least the stock market did nothing, so our 40% looks pretty good. But let me tell you 3 reasons why 2016 is going to be better. Now that seems like a pretty logical thing to do, right? So you're an active manager of your own portfolio, right? So what are you going to do in 2016 that's going to be so awesome? Now, if you're not very good at, let's say the fundamental analysis and stuff, and you're like, Wayne, I want to do it, I just don't get it, I'm just not there. Then what are you going to do with your behavior? What can you do yourself to become a better trader in 2016? Are you going to master swing trading, for example? I think it's really important to write down, even if it's a bullet point, write it down and then post it on the wall so you can see it and reaffirm every day. You wake up and you're like, today I'm going to be a good swing trader. So someone says, what do you call a swing trade? How about a trade based on your analysis of the 4-hour chart? How about that? And you might only get 1 or 2 maximum trades per week on any given currency pair. So for example, if I may, you say, because look at the behavior, okay? Look at the behavior. The first thing I did today is I opened up 6 USD charts. I looked at the 4-hour. What if you said, this week I would like to be bullish on the US dollar? Or even better, in the first 3 months of 2016, you are going to look to buy the US dollar on central banking divergence strength. Whatever. You're a dollar bull. That's all I'm asking you to say. Because if you say and you write it down and you put it on your wall that you're a dollar bull, then how in the world could you possibly sell the US dollar and then lose some money? And you're like, oh, well, it looked good. I thought I saw a double bottom. No, you can't, you can't deviate. If you're going to buy the US dollar, then you buy the dollar. But the cool thing is you have focus and you have laser focus. You have intent, and you're waiting for setups for the US dollar that looks bullish for the US dollar. And therefore, at least, the very least, what you're doing is you're cutting your opportunities to lose money in half. Right? At the very least, it'll take you twice as long to lose all your money, right? Which gives you hope, because maybe over the period of that time, you'll become a better trader and then give yourself better opportunities, right? So at the very least, you have a strategy instead of winging it every day, right? So if you say to yourself, all right, in the next 3 months, in the first quarter of 2016, I just want to buy US dollars. Cool. Then do we have market conditions for buying the US dollar? Right? Well, pound dollar just gave me 100 pips while we talk. Just while we were speaking, I made 100 pips. Feels good, right? Sort of like the Marines, right? The Marines kill more people by 6 a.m. than most armies kill all day, right? That's how, right? That's how you should be, right? You make more money by 6 a.m. than most people in your neighborhood make all day, right? You wake up and have a cup of coffee. They're waking up and having a cup of coffee, but you're done for the day. You might go golfing now. And then get home in time to play with your kids when they get home from school. While everyone else is still stuck in their cube at work, right? I forgot, I sent a text to a buddy on Friday. I think it was Friday. Well, recently. It must have been Friday. Anyways, I fire off this text and I'm like, hey, dude, let's meet up for a cigar and a bourbon. And he's like, it's 7 o'clock at night, right? Something like that. And he's like, oh, I'm stuck in traffic. There's like a car accident. And I'm going to try to get around the other way and come up the... I'm like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten how horrible it is to have a job. What a horrible existence, right? Not only does he have to commute like an hour to get to work and an hour to get back home, but in particular on Fridays, if it's raining, there's going to be a car accident. And it's going to take you 2 hours to get home. Then you get home, you're all stressed out. You're like, been in the car. You're like, oh. I'm like, really? Because I've been playing with my kids for the last 4 hours. I just thought it'd be cool to meet up and have a bourbon. I need some guy time, right? I need a mandate. So anyways, I just forgot how much it sucks. So focus on Forex, guys. Come up with a strategy. Have a point of view, and let's trade it, right? So what you're doing here, back to the point, is if you do want to buy U.S. dollars, you might not buy U.S. dollars today. You might not buy U.S. dollars tomorrow. You might have to wait a whole week. But at least you have a strategy, right? Is the pound dollar set up on the 4-hour for a trade? Well, we already easily made 100 pips just trading in the direction of the prevailing trend. Okay, what about the USD CAD? Is there potentially an opportunity there? The common denominator here on all these charts is US dollars. Let me ask you something. Let's say the USD CAD was set to to be bearish. Let's say you called it a double top. If you were a dollar bull, the US dollar bull, you'd have to say, well, I can't trade that. Even if it looks obvious to you, don't trade it. You don't have to trade it at all. That's not part of your strategy. Again, if you're trading other people's money, and in the disclosure document you talked about your strategy focus on buying the US dollar, then you just almost by law, really, but liability's sake, you can't sell the dollar if you told your clients you were going to buy the dollar. Because if you sell the dollar then lose, they could sue you and say, well, you mistraded their money, right? So anyways, just carry out your strategy. So all of these are US dollar based, and because of the side of the currency pair the dollar is on, so you can see pound versus dollar on the right, US dollar versus CAD on the dollar, the US dollar is on the left, then the congruency here is, if this one's falling and this one's rising, either way you're buying US dollars and you're fulfilling your strategy or carrying out what your disclosure, right, your DDoc talks about. You're just doing your job. So that might be an opportunity. This one was an opportunity. Euro USD, your hardcore technical analysis has told you it's not the best time right now. Sure, you could sell it. It would have been better to sell it way up here. You might wait for something, right? You maybe, I don't know. I don't know. You just got better opportunities right now, right? This one here, Aussie US dollar. Aussie seems to be strong at the moment. You might consider it around the 55, and maybe you only pick up a double bottom. Maybe it's a break-even trade, but it might be something you'll take the shot on, especially if you believe you can at least jam your stop at break-even. Okay? Mexican peso. What do you think about Mexican peso? Well, it went up, moved sideways to the 21, up, right, back to the 21, right? Maybe you'd buy some dollar there against the Mexican peso. Could be a rabbit, could be. So on and so forth, right? Bobby says, will we have the CAD interest rate cut tomorrow? Well, if you were short the US, or if you were short the Canadian dollar and they cut interest rates, you'd be probably on the right side of the trade. Or maybe they'll price in that move today, right? And maybe the Canadian dollar gets super weak today off of that 21. And someone else tomorrow will say, oh, well, it's all priced in. Or, well, a lot of the world simply just bought this pair right where they were supposed to. Hang on. I've even closed my drawing tool and it's still there. Hang on. I'm going to have to find a way to hard kill this. 1 second, please. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, okay. Adobe Air. No, it's an Adobe Air issue, which might kill the room. No. Come on, Task Manager. I really need to talk to people that invented Windows. Dear Windows programmers, why do you have to shut down every single screen on my computer to tell me that you're going to open up the Task Manager? Why? When you have 20 screens, it causes problems, dude. So I need to talk to Microsoft to get. Let's see. Did the drawing? Okay, now the drawing tool did die, and I haven't even done anything. Okay, I guess that's good. Oh, is News Trader Pro still running? You know what? I haven't spoken to those guys in a very long time. Wow, I'm still killing it on that pig dog, huh? Yeah, cool. Zip, zip, dip, 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 doo. Okay, so yeah, so have a plan, Stan. I don't think that's too crazy of advice, right? USD yen doesn't look that great, so now what about a different pair? Notice how I have on my setups, I have things called scans. I can scan yen, I can scan pound, I can scan euro. This is where I isolate. So if I said, maybe I should just sell British pound, that could be part of my strategy for the next month, right? Or the next 3 months, right? It could say that, right? I'm a bear on the great British pound until when? One, we get better than expected data that could lead to a change in sentiment. And B, I need to have a technical sign of a change in sentiment. Makes sense, right? Let's say a huge positive GDP number for the UK, and then some sort of technical reversal, right? So, but unless that happens, you need to stay a bear, for example. So anyways, let's say your strategy is to be a great British pound bear. Do you have any opportunities in this world to make money? Well, you know the pound dollars just paid 100 pips in a half an hour. Is that the US dollar only? Or is some of that great British pound weakness? Okay. So, by the way, you know I'm teaching you portfolio management here, right? I hope you're okay with this. If you'd rather be an amateur retail trader for the rest of your life and just simply, look for 25 pip moves on random pairs, you let me know. Oops. Or if you'd like, more sophistication in your trading and more success, I'm happy to teach you. Okay, all right. So Great British Pound, 4-hour charts. There's that Aussie strength we saw in the Aussie US dollar. What are you going to do with this? Is there a breakout on the way? Right? Is it going to dip down, pull back, and then you sell? Is it going to retrace up to the moving averages and then you sell? Or are you going to stay out of this until there's a break? Now's the time to think about it, right? Oh, you don't have a screen, so you did lose your screen. Wow. Huh. The weirdest things in the world today. How would I do this? Hang on, guys. Okay, I think I can do it this way. Let me test something. Tell me if you see camouflage. Okay. Boop. That's the screen I'm not using. All right. Something right in the world today. I don't know what it is. There we go. All right. So what I did is I trapped pound Aussie in here. Okay. Okay. So I'm asking you to make a plan. If you're a Great British Pound bear, are you going to ignore this and expect a range trade, or are you going to trade the potential pound weakness, but maybe Aussie strength? So is it a breakout to the downside, retracement, sell? Or is it going to retrace up to the moving average and you're going to trade it like a crossover? Or are you just going to wait? That's fine. What about pound yen? What about the beast? Oops. That's trending very well, isn't it? So is this something you're taking? It's happening as we speak. If you're a bear on the Great British Pound, this may be an opportunity, right? A 4-hour retracement into the 21 EMA. You know, funny thing about the beast is it doesn't look like much, except that's 150 pips. 69, and we're at 67.5. You see that? It doesn't look like much. It's 150 pips, my friend. Right? Okay. How about pound Swissy? You're a bear on the Great British Pound. You knew it yesterday. You knew it the day before. You knew it the day before that. Your job is to say, well, I think I'll sell a retracement to the 21. What else do we do besides just using 21s? Because you know that there's more to trading than that, right? But what about price action? What do you do with price action? Right? We're looking for retracements into what used to be support is now resistance, correct? Throw in pivot points, throw in psych levels, throw in those moving averages. It's all good in the hood, right? And how does that one? That one dropped from 44 to 42.5. Okay. And pound CAD. Your analysis of pound CAD might be to be, you know, you've seen better things in the world, right? You've seen better trade setups. So you definitely have a pound dollar short. You might have a pound Aussie short. You definitely have had a pound yen short. You've definitely had a pound Swissy short. And guess what? That pathetic CAD, mixed in with a pathetic British pound, gives you a pathetic trade setup, so you decide to skip that one. That's amazing, right? And then I should be able to analyze your trades and say, oh, so you're selling the Great British Pound. You're like, uh-huh. I can't tell you how many times when I analyze someone's trade, and I look at like the last 100 trades they've made, I look at it and it's just like a mess. Like someone was carrying a huge handful of foreign currency, and then they fell down the stairs and the money just flew everywhere. And I look at the trades, and there's Turkish lira, there's Danish crowns, and there's long yen, there's the short yen, there's long dollar, there's short dollar, and I'm looking at all of this, and I'm like, it's gobbledygoo. You're writing poetry in 5 different languages. It doesn't make any sense. It's just mixed up words, right? Ryan, Wayne, do I ever trade on the 1 hour? No, never, dude. Of course, dude. We're only analyzing one chart here. Because I sense people are trading with no strategies. They're all tactics, running around, right? Shooting everything that moves. The 4 hours sets you up whether you're a bull or a bear, and then hopefully you can analyze it. If you're a bear, is it a good opportunity to sell now or soon? Okay? But then once you're in a zone, let's say like that pound Swissy was a great one, right? Let me open that up. Very, very, very basic price action setup here. Except something, again, some sort of software is slowing my computer down. What's it doing? Come on. I got an error message that Adobe Air wants to update, and I think that's what's killing everything. But anyways, very, 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 very basic price action setup here. Doesn't get any easier. So when you're in this role reversal area, that's when you drop into an hour. That's when you drop into a 15. Okay. That kind of stuff. But there's no need to do it. If you're not at resistance on a 4-hour chart and you're a bear, there's no reason to sell if you're not at resistance. If if you're a bear and this is going up, there's no reason to sell. If this is if you're at support and you're a bear, there's no reason to sell. So what is it that you do? You're a bear and you're looking to sell at resistance. That's it. If you're a bear, you look to sell at resistance. Well, what are you going to do to identify resistance? How do you define resistance? Man, I think I'm going to have to kill this webinar early today. Adobe Air is messing things up. Like everything's freezing up on me. Which means I'll have to let it update and then reboot and But anyways, you need multiple something. I don't know about touches, Rob, but how about just what we call confluence? Price action resistance, right? What used to be support is now resistance. And there's a pivot point and a psych level and a long-term moving average. Yeah, you know what? That area might become resistance. So when we get up there or near that level, and finally my chart kicked in, right? Then maybe you end up taking this 5-8 cross, my friend. Maybe that's where you need to be short. Because that's the sell zone on your 4-hour chart. Okay? So maybe London, right? Maybe London you're getting short. Or maybe in London you're getting ready to get short. Okay? But you wouldn't have done it without long-term analysis, right? But even beyond that, your 4-hour chart, well, I'm asking you to make decisions, 4 months ahead. You should be able to do it. Okay? So, anyways, it's been real fun. I don't know why everything's slowing down now. I think my PC needs a good old reboot. So let's call it a day. That was a little quick tips on portfolio management. Have a strategy and then carry out your strategy. Sounds crazy easy, but yet most people don't do it. And then the second part of that is just basic analysis of a 4-hour chart. Is the market moving in the direction of your bias, of your strategy? If you're a bear, is the market bearish at the moment? And if so, where's the opportunity going to lie in the near future? With that kind of setup, the rest is easy. Tactics, you enter any way you want and you'll probably be fine. But if you're all tactics and no strategy, right? You're all execution but no plan, eventually what'll happen is you'll do all right for a while and then it'll all fall apart. Or you'll just be very inconsistent. Right? You're always, you could have one of these days where, you're up 100 pips and then, after 5 trades and then 2 trades later, you break even again. Oh, well, if I only had not made those last 2 trades, right? It's sort of like a golfer, right? If you'd only made those last 2 putts, you would have won the tournament. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, well, if only those last 2 putts went in, I would have had a pretty good score. Uh-huh. Well, if it wasn't for that shot that went in the water, I would have done pretty good. Yeah? Well, the guy that won the tournament didn't put it in the water. The guy that won the tournament, the balls went in the hole. Why? Because he spent 2,000 hours practicing putting while you were playing, while you were out barbecuing with your buddies, right? That's why that guy won. That's why he flies around in a jet plane. So anyways, I don't know where I'm going with that. Right? You win tournaments because you're consistent. Right? How do you win the Forex game? You have plans, you have strategies, you're very good at carrying out very specific tactical plans and entries, and you're incredibly consistent. You're like ridiculously consistent. Right? Maybe you don't hit 330-yard drives, but you hit the green in regulation and give yourself, a chance at birdie almost every hole. Yeah, well, that's how you win tournaments, right? So anyways, I love you, man. I want you to succeed, and I hope you feel that way and that you know it. I hope you know it. I hope you know I want you to succeed. So what we'll do is we'll follow up tomorrow and try to maybe line up the 1 hour and the 4 hour and see how it goes. Okay? So peace on earth, may the pips be with you, may your profits be above average. Remember to subscribe and like and share and comment and all those wonderful things. Pay it back, man. Pay it back. Make your mother proud. See you tomorrow, guys.